From the center of the universe, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, this is the SDM Show with your host, Rob Cairns. The SDM Show focuses on business, life, productivity, digital marketing, WordPress, and more. Sit back, relax, grab your favorite drink, and enjoy the show. Here is Rob.
Hey everybody, I'm Rob Cairns. I'm the founder, CEO, and chief creator of Amazing Ideas at Stunning Digital Marketing. In today's podcast, I want to give you some tips on why you should use WordPress and not services like Weebly, Squarespace, Shopify, and more. So sit back, relax, grab a drink, and enjoy the podcast. This episode of the SDM Show is sponsored by Stunning Digital Marketing, the agency to handle all your WordPress website security needs. Go on over to stunningdigitalmarketing.com and find out how we can help you secure your website so you no longer have an issue with backups, being hacked, or your website being compromised. That's stunningdigitalmarketing.com. Hey everybody, Rob here again. In today's podcast, I want to talk a little bit about why you should use WordPress as your content management system and not Shopify for e-commerce, not Squarespace or Weebly or Wix for that brochure site. And I'll kind of give you some reasons why and some food for thought. So I've been using WordPress now for over 14 years. I've been in it for a long time, and I've seen a lot of progressions, a lot of great things happening. One of the biggest things that always keeps me using WordPress is the community. We have a vibrant, amazing community out there of many people. It flourishes on Facebook and Facebook groups. It focuses on Twitter in many discussions. And it focuses and does really well on LinkedIn now in the WordPress product community, which I co-manage with Courtney Robertson and several other WordPress groups. The community is helpful. It's amazing. It's progressive. Discussions happen. There's several podcasts. I look at my friends Kate and Topher DeRosa, who run Hero Press and give back to the community. And many of us give back every day. And that's one of the things. The other big thing is you should consider open source. So let's talk first non-e-commerce stuff. So let's talk Wix, Weebly, Squarespace, and page builders on various web hosts. I would never go near them. The reasons are you don't have control over the back end. You frankly don't have control over your backups. And you're very often limited what you can and cannot do. So you can do some basic stuff, but then anything else costs you more money. And disclaimer, it's going to cost you more money no matter what you do. But I'd rather you, as a business owner or a content creator, be in that platform that you can control, that you can customize, that you can do what you want with. With Squarespace, Weebly, and Wix, and many page builders that web hosts offer, you don't have that creative control. They will argue it's a great solution. I would argue, what happens if Squarespace goes down? Your SOL, for a polite word. What happens if your WordPress host goes down? You can take your backup and move it to another host, which gives you ownership more so of your content. And to carry this even more, backups in Squarespace, Weebly, Wix, Shopify, you don't have control over doing your own backups. In WordPress, you do. And that's a big deal. Not only do you control the upfront, you control the backups. The other problem is, from a security standpoint, I never hear anything out of Wix, Weebly, Shopify, and sites like that, and Squarespace about security. They're not transparent enough to say, oh, we patched some security holes. You never hear that. Now, people would argue and say they don't have security holes. I don't believe them. I've been in this business way too long, frankly. Every piece of software sooner or later has a security hole. And not communicating that to large is concern for me. So that's a little bit there. Now, let's jump on Shopify. I had this conversation with somebody recently, a colleague, and he said, what do you think of Shopify as a platform? And I said, personally, don't do it. And I'll tell you why. Shopify starts as a cheap plan. I think it's around $29 a month. And then if you want to change anything, payment processor, the look, etc., the cost goes up. And frankly, at the end of the day, many really good stores are paying over $100 or $150 a month. And that's ridiculous, especially when web hosts like GoDaddy have WooCommerce hosting, where not only can you run WooCommerce, which runs on top of WordPress and is open source, they will give you so many plugins. And as long as you're a GoDaddy customer, the license is to run those plugins. And that's a big deal. That's where the open web comes in. So if you have a problem, you can turn around, move that site, purchase your plugins, and run it elsewhere. And not only that, they'll support you, and you have creative control, and you have control over the back end. And that's really important. In Shopify, Weebly, Wix, and so on, you'd have no control. And those plans at GoDaddy from hosted WooCommerce are actually cheaper than the equivalency will cost you on Shopify. So it's something to look at. And that all happened, frankly, when GoDaddy bought Skyverge. And then they've also since acquired Pagely, which is a WooCommerce optimized host. And there's some exciting things coming down the road there. The same thing's happening over at Newfold. Newfold bought Yith. And I'm sure they're going to offer WooCommerce hosting with Yith plugins. I can almost see the writing on the wall. But it doesn't matter, because if you have a problem, you can still move that site. You can still run your own backups, and it's going to cost you less to run a Woo store in the long run than it's going to cost you to do Shopify. So, frankly, if it were me, I would stay away from these closed systems. I'm a big proponent of open source. Go to WordPress. It's open source. Here's some reasons why you should run WordPress. Rob Cairns, founder, CEO, and chief creator of Amazing Ideas at Stunning Digital Marketing, talking to you about why you should run WordPress. Have a great day, everybody. Bye for now. This episode of the SDM Show is sponsored by Stunning Digital Marketing, the agency to handle all your WordPress website security needs. Go on over to stunningdigitalmarketing.com and find out how we can help you secure your website so you no longer have an issue with backups, being hacked, or your website being compromised. That's stunningdigitalmarketing.com. Thanks for listening to the STM Show. The show is a production of Stunning Digital Marketing, and all rights are reserved. Rob can be reached by email at vip@stunningdigitalmarketing.com, on Twitter at Rob Cairns, on his website, stunningdigitalmarketing.com, and on his website there's links to all his social media platforms. This show is dedicated to my late father, Bruce Cairns. Dad, I miss you very much. Keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. Make your business succeed.